Now, your forecast first from KARK4, your weather authority.
Temperatures heating up across Arkansas today. Our water vapor loop showing a definite lack of moisture across the central and south central part of the United States, thanks to that jet stream lifting off to the north. And that area of high pressure is going to be moving southeastward and toward Arkansas as we head through the next 24 hours. And as it does, look for the heat and humidity to build. So get ready for a taste of summer later on this week. For the rest of the evening hours through sunset, down to the low to mid 80s. By midnight, 72. And for your drive-in Thursday morning, sunny skies and 65 degrees. KARK4 News at 5 starts now.
Coming up, a deadly multi-car accident in West Little Rock kills at least one person, sending several others to the hospital. We'll have more on what may have caused the chain reaction. Next, more on John Wolf, a Democratic presidential challenger from Tennessee, who picked up a lot of votes in Arkansas last night. Plus, the one-year anniversary of the deadly tornado, and we're taking a closer look at recovery.
Now, from the station you count on, this is KARK4 News at 5 in high definition.
Good evening, everybody, and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Bob Clausen.
I'm Jessica Dean. A developing story we're following at this hour. At least one person dead and many people injured, including children, in a 4-car pileup on Highway 10 in Little Rock. That's also known as Cantrell Road.
It happened around 2:30 this afternoon. Little Rock police responding to calls about a driver driving erratically. They found the car, apparently, a black Chrysler 300, and then it slammed into a gold Buick headed east on the 19,000 block of Cantrell Road. Caused a chain reaction accident involving 2 other cars. Police are interviewing the driver of that Chrysler, as you saw there. No arrests made at this moment. The driver of the Buick was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries there. No doubt a number of details here still coming in. We're going to keep you up to date on that. And in other news, a mid-air collision kills one, sends another to the hospital. The planes hit in northeast Arkansas in Greene County near the Tennessee border.
And these are some pictures from that collision. The Greene County Sheriff's Office handling that investigation right now, but the FAA will soon take over. It all happened around 11:30 a.m. One person, we're told, was airlifted to the hospital. No word yet on the cause of that crash or the condition of the injured person. It was not an upset, but a definite attention getter as a relatively unknown Tennessee attorney, John Wolf, took over 40% of the vote against President Barack Obama in Tuesday's Arkansas primary. As KARK4's Jonathan Athens reports, this contest, anything but typical. Jonathan.
President Obama did not campaign in Arkansas in 2008, and some Democrats tell us he has no plans on coming here now. But one Democratic presidential candidate was here to give Mr. Obama a run for the money.
A gutsy move that yielded big results.
Well, it was good. You know, the people, it was democracy in action.
Tennessee Attorney John Wolf, taking on President Obama in the Arkansas primary, racked up 42% of the vote. Folks we spoke with for and against Mr. Obama had this to say.
I think it's pretty funny. I think it's probably showing people are finally figuring out that Obama is a bunch of smoke and mirrors.
It didn't surprise me. There are Democrats in this state who don't like President Obama for some kind of nefarious reasons, and so I could understand them casting their vote for him because of that, instead of for President Obama.
And that's no surprise to some political experts either.
A vote for an anti-Obama candidate, a protest candidate, it's an embarrassment to the president. It's an embarrassment to the party.
So how was this surge possible? The only way Wolf got his message out was through the news media.
Put a really good grassroots.
Flyers and robocalls.
The Democratic primary next Tuesday opposing Obama.
So there's no doubt that his name ID was driven up as a result of those efforts on his part.
Even though Wolf got well above the 15% threshold to compete for delegates, the Democratic Party says no.
Unfortunately, Mr. Wolf has just been completely non-compliant with the delegate selection process.
I think the Democratic establishment, I think all establishments are worried about this. You know, they don't want people to exhibit that kind of power.
Wolf isn't going to get his party's nomination to run for the White House, but his campaign says something about how some people feel about Washington and Mr. Obama.
I'm pretty much an independent, but in this election, I will definitely be voting Republican.
I'm going to vote for President Obama. Things haven't been too bad for me since he's been elected.
And there were protest votes in 2 other states. In Kentucky, 42% of the voters picked uncommitted in that Democratic primary. And in West Virginia, 41% voted for a Texas inmate. And with regard to Mr. Wolf, he's headed to Texas to stump for votes in the Lone Star State. That state's primary is right after Memorial Day. Reporting live in Little Rock, Jonathan Athens, KARK4 News.
Jonathan, thanks so much, and we'll be following this and more political stories on our website, arkansasmatters.com. All you have to do is click on your local election headquarters tab.
Get out your calendar and mark this down, or be prepared for a huge headache if you take I-430, 630 interchange. The Highway Department is asking you to stay away, at least for one day. KARK4's Lauren Traeger joining us now live from the construction zone out there. Why are we being told to stay away, Lauren?
Well, Bob, I'm going to tell you right now, you might want to get out your iPod, download some meditational music, because things are about to get more stressful out here if you commute using these interstates. The Highway Department says with school about to be out, they're going to be moving into a more serious phase of construction. The first date they need you to know about is this next Wednesday, May 30th. They're asking you to stay away. The reason they're asking for you to stay away, they need the entire day to shift lanes and restripe so they can work on a new area. Now, they're going to be closing I-430 southbound lanes in stages starting at 9 in the morning next Wednesday until about the same time the next day. Then for the next month or so, the lanes out here are going to be more narrow, and you're going to be asked to reduce your speed to 40 miles per hour. Now, if you don't stay away next Wednesday, May 30th, then the Highway Department says expect more accidents, more congestion out here, and just generally a lot more mess. So again, they're asking you to just go ahead and mark your calendars now, plan for an alternate route, and you'll be doing everybody a big favor, rather. Reporting live in Little Rock, Lauren Traeger, KARK4 News.
All right, Lauren, thanks very much, everyone. Make note of that.
A silver alert issued by the Cleburne County Sheriff's Office. James Elworth Rainerson has been missing since May 12th. He was last seen in Lonoke County when he mentioned he was headed to a Hot Springs Walmart to pick up some medication. Rainerson is a white male, 5 feet 9 inches tall. He weighs about 220 pounds. He has short gray hair, partially balding with blue eyes, and could be traveling in a black 2008 Ford F-150 pickup truck. It could have a black camper shell on it as well. If you have any information, you're asked to contact the Cleburne County Sheriff's Office.
A deadly and botched burglary leaves 2 men dead, one of them the suspect in the case. Tonight, the homeowner where all this went down speaking out to KARK about 19-year-old Charles Murray possibly being let out of jail when he could have served a prison sentence for a prior burglary charge. KARK4's Deidre Wilson spoke with that homeowner, and she has more on this case.
Good afternoon. Yes, the homeowner, Reggie Marshall, is very upset. He's distraught and angered at the same time. Distraught because he lost his loved one, angered because the suspect was just let out of Pulaski County Jail on April 30th.
But you killed George in the house.
Reggie Marshall is referring to 19-year-old Charles Murray, who is accused of breaking into his home, killing his partner of 3 years, George, and wounding one of his workers, leaving him in critical condition. Murray was booked into the Pulaski County Jail on March 8th, and according to Lieutenant Carl Minden, released on April 30th.
Something has to change.
So Marshall says what happened to his partner doesn't happen to anyone else.
So he made it into the stairwell, and they shot him 4 times in the stairwell, and pretty much he was dead there. And then the other guy, I guess he jumped down the stairs, shot the other guy 2 times in the chest.
Marshall says the only thing taken from his home, his partner in life.
Yeah, George and I were partners in life. We were partners for a little over 3 years. And he's young. He loved physical training. He's studying to be an MMA fighter at the local gym here.
They live together in this home on Thayer Street in Little Rock, where neighbors are back to their normal routines with a little uneasiness.
I think everybody's unsettled. I mean, but you know, it's a beautiful neighborhood. People love it.
In 1946, Dick Nygaard used to deliver milk to this neighborhood.
So I would take the milk inside and put it in the ice box where they had blocks of ice.
People trusted you to do that?
Oh yeah, they'd leave the back door open.
Marshall says the suspect kicked in the back door to get inside his home and feels this botched and now deadly burglary could have been prevented. Now Marshall wonders why the suspect wasn't still in jail. In Little Rock, Deidre Wilson, KARK4 News.
And coming up tonight at 6 o'clock, Adam Rodriguez takes a look at why the suspect, 19-year-old Charles Murray, was out of jail and how nearby residents are looking for answers as well. Again, that's coming up tonight at 6 o'clock. No charges filed in a sexual assault accusation lodged against boxer Jermaine Taylor. This is a KRK4 News update for you. The Maumelle Police Department says it does not expect to file any charges against Taylor. This comes after a woman says she and Taylor got into an argument, hurt herself, and then told hospital officials Taylor sexually assaulted her at a hotel in Maumelle on Friday. The police department says its preliminary decision not to file is based on interviews of all involved.
He took the GOP nomination in the 4th District without a runoff, and tonight Tom Cotton is live in our studio one day after his big win. Tonight at 6, we're going to talk to him about what his plans are for the general election.
The nation's eyes are on Joplin, 1 year after a devastating tornado crushed that small town. But 2 counties are also marking the 1-year anniversary of that deadly tornado that swept through Denning.
Plus, big names, big bands, and a blast on the Arkansas River. We're just days away from one of the biggest festivals in Central Arkansas coming up. We'll have a behind-the-scenes look at Riverfest.
They're back. That's the heat and humidity. 88 degrees in Little Rock was a high temperature today after starting at 57. We're into the low to mid 90s, and we're going to see the heat index up near 100, and there's a chance of rain. We've got it all in the forecast in just a few minutes.
This is KARK 4 News at 5 in high.